thanks for still being here. And this is now the event for the $1 million pitch in San Francisco. So the big question is, who will be the winner? And it will be very interesting to hear the pitches. And the agenda of today is very simple. First, there's an introduction, what is the price and how it works. This is done by John. And later on, I will introduce the jury. And once we have introduced the jury, it's show time. It's a time when the pitches start. All startups have 3 minutes to pitch and 2 minutes to discuss. And afterwards, the jury will decide who's the winner. And I will personally give you the startup some feedback on their idea. My name is Patrick. I'm working on business model innovation for the last 20 years. So if you just Google business model innovation, you'll probably find some of my work. And I will give a very, very personal feedback on the ideas, because I love boring ideas. I'm not for hip consumer ideas. I love boring ideas who are highly relevant in life. So can we have the first person, John? Where are you? It's your time. As you can see, everything is a little bit improvised, but we will do that. So can I give the stage is yours, and please introduce the wonderful concept of the $1 million pitch.
Great. All right. Just waiting for my slide to pop up on the back screen here. Great. Oh, actually, hey, could we bring the trophy up here? Can we bring this, nope, sorry, the trophy up to the stage? Well, I think we're ready to start now. Hello, Germany. My name is John Lim. I'm from Fenox Venture Capital, a global VC based in Silicon Valley. We've actually last year launched an initiative called Startup World Cup, which is a series of global startup pitch competition. And as mentioned earlier, the winner at the grand finale gets $1 million in investment prize. So this initiative, again, is started by Fenox Venture Capital. We have eight offices around the world. We have $1.5 billion of asset under management, have invested into more than 110 portfolio companies, and have a pretty big team, global team members spread across 88 team members. So here are some of our popular investments. I can also show you a little bit more of our investments here. We primarily invest in the US, also a little bit in Europe, primarily also focusing in Asia, in Japan, Southeast Asia, and the likes. So my special thanks goes to the StartupCon team for hosting the Startup World Cup Germany regional event here today. So this was the Startup World Cup 2018 journey. We've had one successful series last year, and then we decided to start a new series. I went to Brazil in August, and then we carried on with South Africa, Indonesia, Singapore. One of my colleagues was in Spain, and today here we are in Germany, Cologne, for the Germany regional. I'll be flying to Canada next week for the next Canada regional. We have an event in Czech, Saudi Arabia, Japan, Philippines, UAE, Ireland, Taiwan, Australia. So we hit all the major regions in different on the 6 different continents. Hosting this year roughly about 30 regional events. We're going to conclude with Korea this year, and then the regional events carry on to the next year as well. Early Jan and Feb, India, Northern Ireland, a few events in the US, UK, and then ending with probably the Bangladesh regional next year. And what happens, and today here we are again at the Germany regional. What happens to each of the winner of the regional events? They come to the Silicon Valley to pitch and compete at the grand finale. And again, the winner of that competition gets $1 million investment prize as the final award. The grand finale event that I mentioned is on May 11th of 2018. It's held in San Francisco, the Marriott Marquis. The first half we have a lot of prominent speakers, industry experts, and then the second half will be the final competition among the regional winners. Just a few stats about last year. We had about 1,500 people last year at the event. last year we had a fewer regional number, totaling 15 regionals, so 15 startups battled for $1 million investment prize. And some of our speakers last year, how many of you guys know Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple? Right, you guys are involved in the startup scene, Apple, obviously. And Guy Kawasaki, the former chief evangelist at Apple. We had also David Cohen, he's the founder and CEO of Techstars, one of the largest incubators in the world. Damon John, he's a star of ABC's Shark Tank. We had also Alexis Ohanian, who is the co-founder of Reddit. And so these are some of the people that have spoken in the first half of the conference portion, much like the StartupCon. And here are some of our finale judges. We have the top judges from Y Combinator, Kleiner Perkins, which is one of the top VCs in the US. We have GE Ventures, Tim Draper, the founder of DFJ and Draper Associates. We had Edith Young, who is from 500 Startups, and also a judge from Plug and Play. So these are the level of caliber of the judges that we bring on for the final event in San Francisco. So again, the winner goes and receives the $1 million investment prize from Fenox Venture Capital, the organizer of Startup World Cup. And today I want to quickly show you a video of Startup World Cup 2018 that introduces all the most of the regionals and talk about what Startup World Cup is. Can we get the sound up more? So that's Startup World Cup. Are you guys ready to find out who the Germany regional winner is now? Yep, all right. So thanks in advance to the judges, and let's get started.
So can we have the jury, please, on the stage? Jury. So you will meet now the jury. Are you tough today? Are you really giving tough feedback? So this is your jury. I would like to introduce you shortly. I'll start with Johannes. We have two of them. So the big question is which Johannes it is. We start with Johannes Nüning. He's the head of Ucubate by Deutsche Telekom. So a very seasoned judge. And you have seen a lot of ideas already and executed a lot of ideas into the market. Then we have Christian Weiss. You're the partner of Creator Ventures, and prior of that, I think you were with McKinsey. So you have a lot of analytical skills to judge the ventures. Then we have Kai Bühler. He has a very interesting background. You just returned, I think, from the US, and now you're a professor at a German university in Cologne. But he has a very strong record in entrepreneurship, so I think you know what you talk about. So it's not theory what you're strong at. You're very good in combining practice and theory. Then we have a guy, I like that you're here, that is Tolgay Atzman. Can you hold your hand a little bit up so that people see you? He's with Business Punk, one of the real cool business magazines who thinks business is just a little bit more than Manager magazine is doing out of it, because it's fun. We can change the world. We can create the world. And then we have Johannes Pesco. And it looks like a rather normal title you have, member of advisory board of German Tech Entrepreneurship Center. But I think there's so much more behind, because you also got a very experienced, and you have a lot of know-how, not only to identify the right ideas, but to grow them, which is a huge issue in entrepreneurship, not having the idea, to build the idea, but then to grow the idea to a real enterprise. That's his background. So let's see who's coming. Are the startups ready? Do you know anything who comes first? Good. Let's go for Sonic. And you have exactly 3 minutes time to present your idea. And I will be very strict on that one. So every time I come close to you, you know, the time is kind of moving. And then we have 2 minutes to discuss. The floor is yours.
Sure, I just need to pick up my slide over there. Can I have the slide, please? Oh, I don't get to see it there. All right, let's work it out. Good evening, everyone. We are Sonnect, and we create virtual ATMs. Did you know 100 billion times... Sorry, the clicker is not working? Sorry for that. That's always happened for the first one. I'm okay. I just came from London. We won the pitch it competition there, so. All right, we're back live. Let's get started. Did you know 100 billion times cash is withdrawn from an ATM today? And the number continues to increase at a staggering 9% annually. Global economy wastes 300 billion every year just because we still need to handle cash. But who pays for that? It's mostly the banks, because ATMs are not only expensive to install, but also to operate. On the other hand, retailers struggle as well when they get paid in cash. They need to collect, count, reconcile, and bring the cash back to bank. And honestly, when was the last time you enjoyed visiting an ATM, let alone finding one or even paying for one? Easy solution? Let's get rid of cash and go completely digital. But 85% of global consumer payment is still done using cash. So how long until we all live in a cashless society? 5, 10, 20 years? Here comes Sonnect. What Uber did to taxi industry, Airbnb to the hotel industry, we are doing it for the ATM industry. Anybody can download an app and act like an ATM. We have developed a location-based matchmaking platform that connects those who want to withdraw cash in real time with those who want to deposit cash, which typically is a local bakery or a pizzeria. This way, the shop owner not only gets rid of cash, but also earns money. He also draws new customers to the store. Consumers now can withdraw cash at the click of a button wherever they are. And finally, banks can save up to 50% in running their ATM operations. This is how our app looks like. Simply download the app, walk into Bakery Ruthie, and walk out with the cash that you want to withdraw. We are already live in Zurich, Switzerland. This is how our ATMs look like. It's a bar where you can continue to drink and also withdraw money. Don't want to go out to withdraw cash? Simply order your food online, and your pizza delivery boy will become your virtual ATM. Still not happy? Your taxi drivers are now your virtual ATMs. You no longer need to have your cash beforehand. And every time you withdraw cash, we are going to collect money from your bank, because even after paying us, banks are going to save up to 50% in their current OPEX. Our partner list is already long and strong, but our pipeline is even stronger. We are also a team of strong complementary skill set. I worked at Credit Suisse for 12 years. My co-founder is also from Credit Suisse. And in Post Finance, the largest retail bank in Switzerland, is also our investor. We're raising Series A 7 million, primarily for market expansion in Germany, Austria, Italy, and Spain, mostly the cash-heavy countries in Europe. But that's just the beginning. Because every single virtual ATM that we are creating today will also do cash deposit, bill payment, money transfer, all simple retail banking that the bank branches are doing today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Uber moment in retail banking has arrived.
So it's now time for questions. Do you got your mics? Who wants to have the first question to this wonderful idea? I love Switzerland. I'm from Switzerland. So.
Yeah.
Sure.
Go ahead. Thank you. Very impressive pitch. I really liked it, and
Thank you.
quite a market need. I think that people can relate to. You mentioned you guys launched in Zurich already.
Yes.
What is the traction, and what's the user uptake and
Yeah.
behavior?
So what we're doing right now is, because our model is B2B2C, we are building our own network as we speak. So we launched 2.5 months ago. We already have 100 virtual ATMs in and around Zurich, and about 2,000 people already who have withdrawn cash using our services. But that's not our scaling model. We are selling the whole model to the banks, because banks have got access to the market, and we just proved like the whole thing is working, and now we are launching with few partner banks by the end of this year.
Just another quick question. So how do you prevent yourself from other players like Uber, MyTaxi, the delivery heroes, just including the same function in their business apps?
Yeah, so that's the platform model we want to establish. So they will be always limited to that particular vertical. So let's say Delivery Hero does that, they will be doing that particular vertical. But I've just shown 3 glimpses of what we have thought we will be using virtual ATM as. In future, it will be also a peer-to-peer virtual ATM. Like, I need cash, I do a Tinder for cash, and I just get the cash. So they're vertical specific. We want to be the horizontal across all the industries. You can withdraw money everywhere.
So you believe in a cash economy in the future?
Not quite. I believe cash will not be the future, perhaps 10, 15 years later, but there is a business right now because 85% of consumers are still holding on to cash. I want to transform them into digital future.
I think we would have hundreds of questions for you because, I mean, you opened our eyes what is possible, but unfortunately, it's not your stage.
Sure,
anymore.
I will be backstage. To
Thank you
continue.
very much.
Thank you.
Give him a warm applause, please. And the next team is from Carpe Vitam. So can you please come on the stage? Can we have the slides for you as well? You get the mic, everything working?
Yeah.
Perfect, the stage is yours.
Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Sinan. We are Carpe Vitam, a social startup for elderly care at home. We are a team of 8 individuals with expertise in IT, elder care, and business that can solve one of the biggest issues, challenges of our society, the isolation of elderly people. If you have psychological or physical limitations and you live on your own, it is hard to find help.
I don't want to be sent into a care home. My son must help.
Well, I actually do not have time.
I'm a caregiver, and it's hard to find flexible work and to get paid fairly.
Of course, no one wants to sacrifice their freedom, but caring families are overstrained. 70% of caring family members develop psychological issues themselves. We created a marketplace to connect senior citizens, their families, and caregivers. Carpe Vitam will connect people quickly and easily. The target market. There are 6.5 million people in Germany in need, and their families are our potential customers. In an aging society, the market is constantly growing. We want to gain 5% market share in 5 years' time. Even a modest estimate predicts $1 billion business. We want to take 20% for every transaction. We expect 234 million euros per year in 5 years' time. We focus on UX and customer service to provide an intuitive and fast booking process that is both reliable and flexible for our customers. Helpers can determine their own wage, and the services, all services will be available offline too. So we are already on the market. We have growth rates above 20% up to now. We have like 30 customers, 25 helpers. And this is why you should invest. The net present value of a customer is almost 3,000 euros, and the cost of customer acquisition is dropping constantly. So the $1 million will help us to get into the growth phase, will help us to get into other markets, and together I think we can solve one of the biggest issues and challenges of our society. Thank you.
So, questions?
So, did I understand correctly that you're bringing together the elderly people with the caring person?
Yeah. So we connect them via the platform, but they can call us as well. Yeah. And we have a beta version active. So we are not completely active now. We have a beta version, and our test market is Heidelberg, which is active now as well.
And how is that better than current models?
So currently, there are not really solutions. So the market is unstructured, is not, it's like the book market in the 90s. So we are at the same stage now. And now there are some business models in Germany as well and overseas who are trying models, but I think the models are not clear yet. And I think we're on a good stage.
Maybe one question. You mentioned the lifetime value. Have you guys been around for 5 years? Did I get that correctly?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you pre-revenue, or you're generating revenues now? Or?
Yeah. It's not much. It's not the focus now to expand now. So it's more the test market in Heidelberg, where we test different processes, different, like, you know, how to get the people on board, how to serve to the customers, which channels, marketing channels to use, and so on.
Okay.
So that we know how to expand quickly.
And how do you acquire customers? What's the user acquisition strategy?
So there are like digital marketing strategies, but offline marketing strategies. So we have like senior people who are not maybe internet affine as we are, as the young people are, but the families, their kids, you know, who live remotely and so on. They are.
Thank you very much. Give it a warm applause. The next company has a funny name, at least when you're a native English speaker. It's called Fun with Balls.
Hello, everybody. You're still awake? You didn't hear wrong, actually. It's really called Fun with Balls, and we did it on purpose. So just in case you're wondering, it's not a translation error. So, my name is Marcus. I'm from Munich. I actually started in marketing and events. Started my first company when I was 20, and I was always really doing wild things. So after I did a lot of work for big brands, I did art installations in Antarctica, Sahara, and also a surf school in North Korea. So any of you ever want to join me, just let me know. I'm going to be over there. So after a while, I was like, okay, I've been doing a lot of work for big brands, big budgets, and I was always like, okay, what's next? I wanted to have something scalable, and I wanted to have something that actually makes sense nowadays instead of just launching the next big cell phone and stuff. Oop. There you go. Okay, so one thing we realized when we looked into sports is it's always very hard to be motivated, and most of the sports tech that you have is very, very simple. Like, you put it away really quick, it's not really immersive, and it's not going to be like that computer gaming feeling that you want to jump in and you want to just go crazy. So we just thought, okay, why don't we focus on that and just build it? So the first product we put on the market, I can't show a video here, unfortunately. You really have to press this hard. Is a fully immersive upgrade for any squash courts. We picked squash because squash obviously is a sport going down. There's a huge infrastructure. There's a big need for all the centers to improve, get younger people in. We launched this in March. We sold 15 systems so far. The centers can buy this. We have a network of distributors worldwide that take care of all the hardware for us. So it's our sensors, it's our patents, it's our network, but platform, but we don't have to take care of installation. We just get quite a hefty fee once it's installed. And so far, we received quite a lot of prizes. There's 30 million players worldwide. You really have to see it in a video because it's highly addictive. It's like playing a computer game on a gigantic touchpad. You can use it for training. gaming, you can use it for games, like we're going to have it on all the pro games in the future world circuit and so on, starting next March. And it's obviously app connected, statistics, leaderboards, and so on. The next steps that we're working on is, there you go. So this is how we earn the money. We get like a license fee from the distributor because we don't want to be the guys like ordering the stuff, sending the stuff, doing the logistics. We get a monthly payment from the operator, and obviously there's a lot of follow-ups like remote coaching fees that we have, app store, advertising, and so on. We're now moving into 5 more sports, one of them with quite a big partner coming up. That's why we're raising money, actually. Our game is always to be like a big player in each sport, so the sports we pick are very carefully selected. We have to be able to create a very big technical solution that would actually engage people. Then it has to be possible to get a big infrastructure going, and obviously, yeah, there needs to be the market for all the different players. That's it.
So, thank you. Great presentation.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to go first. You can go first.
Just a quick one. So, how do you plan really to make it scalable? Since going from squash court to squash court is super tedious.
Well, we designed the system, we designed the hardware, but we're not involved in it. So we partnered up with the largest distributor of squash court. There's 50,000 squash courts worldwide. They built 7,500 of it, so they have like their production offices worldwide, they have their partners, they have their installations, blah, blah, blah. So we are not involved until the system is actually installed.
Let's take other players in the sports market, for example, gyms. Would you rather consider them as competition or as potential partners so they could set up the system for you?
Well, it depends. Like most of the time we consider anything that has to do with entertainment and sport as a potential competition. So a tablet, in our case, is a competition to kids going to the sports court and actually getting their ass up. That's also why we ended up with this solution. So for us, I think the main aspect is it's a slow thing. Like it's not the typical startup where you have like an app and you say like everybody wants to go. But then again, it's a very, very, very steady thing. Like once you know the centers upgrade and you have like 100, 200 centers that use the system, they're going to be using it every day. Any more questions?
Can you say a little bit more about your traction?
Yeah, so far we started installing in March. We have about 800 inquiries. We didn't spend any money on advertising. We basically just put out a video showing like the product and like a lot of other videos with all the different games. So far we sold 15 systems worldwide, 6 of them in the US, all the rest all over. We had an aim of 18 in 2017 and we're going to exceed that by far. Thank you, everybody. Don't fall asleep.
So the next startup is einer. A warm welcome for them as well. Give them some hands.
So thank you very much for having us tonight. Our company name is Ameria. We are actually a company which is not really a startup, but we switched back into startup mode a couple of years ago because we developed a very nice product. I spent a lot of money. That's why I'm on this stage tonight. We are having a strong team of 70 people and a board of 3 members. We have worldwide partners, and together with our leading clients, we have developed our product Virtual Promoter. Maybe some of you have seen it here in front of their stage or in the hall. It's actually an interactive promoter that talks with you, is gesture controlled, and can be an avatar, can be a human being, and the whole thing is for excitement, experience at the shopping and digitizing the real life or the stationary shopping environment. So we do that for a lot of customers in different areas. And why do we do it? Because of course we want to increase the frequency into the stores. We want to do sales promotions. We want to increase the turnover and have a great brand experience for the customers, but it's mainly also for gathering data. So we do this in six different industries. That is mainly automotive, banking, consumer electronics, FMCG, healthcare, and tourism. And we have developed the same product for different kind of needs of our customers. Of course, these point of sales are very different. If you come in a bank, it's totally different than you want to buy a Porsche. And we are doing this for some of these companies already globally. So what the value creation or USPs in the digital transformation of their real store. We have creative products, software products, but we have also the connected experience. That means that the virtual promoter is connected with your smartphone, which gives us the possibility to track your data. We have, of course, a hardware production ongoing, first small serial production, and we have a heavy growth in our virtual promoter sales. So this is just the virtual promoter business area of our company. And yeah, we have reached last year the first 1 million. We are going through the roof with 2 million this year. We have our first quarter, which is cash flow positive, and we are driving the digitization innovation at the real point of sale, and I think that's quite amazing. Thank you.
Maybe just a quick question, how you guys make money. So, because I know it's always a bitch getting customers, especially in retail. How do you guys sell the solution, and how do you sell it? I mean, how do you get the customers? Do you go from shop to shop, or how does that work?
Now we are only talking with C-level of our customers in retail and industry, so mainly the industry is paying for the whole thing. The retail just gives us the space to place the virtual promoter, but the industry is paying for all of this. So we have different models. Most of them are still based on projects, so we went from the POCs to the pilots, but now our income with software licenses and exclusive licenses for our partners is already one quarter roundabout, and it's increasing.
So it's a SaaS model, or?
It's a SaaS model, pure SaaS model. It's pure IoT SaaS model, yes.
So how do you deal with the content creation for the campaigns? So isn't it that
Excuse me. Yeah.
How do you deal with the content creation for the campaigns? So isn't it a pain in the ass to kind of design and really target the campaign for the customer's need, and isn't that costly?
Exactly. We have developed a kind of content management tool which is called Virtual Promoter Composer. It's until now we have done like 50% of the content by ourselves. Now it's already done by 50% by large agencies such as Publicis, Serviceplan, Mackevision, 3D guys, and the agencies are doing this. We are providing the marketing and sales channel, the agencies and the companies using it. So we see ourselves as a new channel provider.
So how much money does the company which uses the product actually save? So what's your sales pitch on them?
Its sales pitch is actually pure added benefit value of the customers and bringing more customers in, and our sales are in software. We are not a hardware company, if you mean that. Our sales in software, recurring revenue.
Any more questions? Good. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
So the next startup we are seeing is Placing You. The stage is yours.
Yeah. Thanks. First of all, let me say thank you to all the investors who gave us a positive feedback. So we have the opportunity to be here. But now, let's go. We are Placing You. We are a digital solution for HR, currently supporting the branches of audiology and optics. And we had this idea because there are bad conditions in the HR in these branches. The current solution is to use a headhunter, and headhunters have some downsides. So they are very intransparent, they are very expensive, they are not that accessible, and they are, don't have a big pool of employees, and we want to change that. Our solution is that we have a digital platform where you can anonymously search as an employee, and as an employer you need an account. It's always free if you don't have a contract, and it is very fast. If you use a headhunter, it takes up to 6 hours to get a real job offer, and with Placing You, you can do this in under 5 minutes, because you put your job contract details in the search, and then instantly you get a match with employees or employers, depends on which side you are. And then you can select out of a list which shows you the rated offers, depending on the contract details you put in the search. And after this, you can go to the comparison or the detailed comparison, where you can see which contract details are fitting and which are not. And if you want to, you can even negotiate some of these options. And the other actions you can do is you can decline these job offers, then they aren't anymore in the list, or you can take a contact, then the employee and the employer gets the contact details from the other person, and then the further steps of the application process is done by themselves. On the left side, you see the current solution, which is the headhunting in these current branches. And on the right side, you see our solution, which is Placing You, which is, you can see, far faster than the headhunting side. And we are like outstanding on every aspect. We are less expensive. We are more transparent. We are digital, and so it's easy to use us, especially for the young people who are using the internet every day. And the advantages from Placing You over headhunters is that we are only writing okay.
So thank you. Targeting a great market. Question, which market exactly? So which job market in particular are you focusing on?
Currently, we are focusing on the audiology and the optics, and we want to add the dentists in 2018.
And I don't know if you didn't have time, but I didn't hear about the business model. How do you guys make money?
We didn't make it to the business model. It was on the next slide.
There you go. Now you get the chance.
We get a commission from the employer because if you use a headhunter, you pay a commission as well. But our commission is far less expensive. And so we even take a small cut of this commission and gave it to the employees, so they benefit from this as well. And this is our business model.
How much is it?
We have currently a volume of 130,000. We are online for 5 months, and we are calculating to do 200,000 this year. And next year we are calculating 500,000, and after this it's just mystics, like 2 million or more.
So it's less of a question, more of a feedback. So if you're saying you have a very clear, easy value proposition, and it takes most of the time of the pitch to explain what you're actually doing, that kind of, bothers me, whether it's so easy what you actually are doing. So, it's kind of an advice to really bring the message across crisp, right? So that we really get, okay, what actually makes your offer so easy, right? So I kind of get it, but I really didn't get it, basically.
Okay, thanks.
So it's interesting what a wide range of ideas we had so far. And the next one, I have no idea which is behind this interesting name. It's Ho-Hoi. So the stage is yours.
Test. So, first of all, before I start, I have a little present for you. Thank you. Now, Hohoi, everybody. My name is Carlo Hill, and I'm a co-founder from Hohoi. Now, and this is Momo, yeah? And please be kind and say Hohoi to Momo. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have created some wonderful handwritten cards. So these small cards, you can see them on the left side, and you can see it on in your hand, can be easily personalized and customized on our online service. Now, before we started, we had a problem. The problem was that short messages today are too impersonal. And handwritten messages, when you say, okay, then I will write the card on myself, it's very time consuming. So you have to buy it, you have to write it, you have to have a beautiful handwriting, and in the end you have to send it. So it's very difficult and time consuming. Now we have a solution for that. For the problem you need, or for the left side, you need 1 hour. And on our website, on our online platform, on hohoi.de, you just need 3 minutes for this. So let's go on. Yes. And we don't only have B2C, not only a B2C product, we also have a B2B product. We have a counter display, which can be sold on retail markets. Now, we even will be able to produce 5,000 cards a day in 2018. So, for example, if Mercedes comes to us and says, hey guys, we need handwritten greeting cards for our customers, so we are able to produce them for them. Yes. Now, the addressed market is about 1.3 billion euros, and according to the market prognosis, figures will have grown by 6.4% in 2020. Yes, I see the time is running, so to sum all this up, we are ready to take off. If you want the details, I can email it to you. So, yes, because you can also hear. Hey. Okay, thank you very much. Now, feel free to ask questions.
So I didn't get who is actually doing the handwriting and how are you doing this? So I didn't get it.
The handwriting?
Yeah.
We have 30 beautiful writers in in Augsburg, and they are able to produce at the moment 2,000 cards.
And how do you pay them? Per card? Pay per card?
No, they're paid per hour. Yes. Any questions?
Can you walk us through the process again? I didn't understand that. So I would go online, I pick a greeting card, I put in the recipient, and they receive that in the mail?
No, they get the handwritten card. You go on hohoi.de.
Okay.
You choose a motive for example, Christmas or birthday. And after that, you can also add an additional product, for example, flowers or chocolate. And then it will be sent to the recipient.
To the recipient, okay. And how do you price it? How does that work? And how do you get
the
customers?
pricing?
Yeah.
The pricing is we have small cards. They start from $4.19, including the cargo. Yes. And we have a bigger one which starts from $5.90.
I didn't quite understand. What kind of problem does this solve? Yeah. So is it text messages? Is it like greeting cards? So what is the alternative to this?
There is no alternative. We just try to yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hoi Hoi.
Thank you. Hoi, bye-bye.
So after having a very enthusiastic person, we have somebody next coming on stage. It's called Nerd Factory. Where's the Nerd Factory? Oh, here we go. They look like nerds.
I'm actually not the nerd, but it's okay. Yeah. Is it okay? So, hello and welcome to the Nerd Factory. My name is Johannes, I'm one of the co-founders. Most of us here today have already had a promising new business idea. Considering time and age of digitalism, it's somehow already connected to IT aspects. Well, my second guess, not even half of us here are able to program the basic Java code to make the compiler say, hello world. We have two options. First, we learn to program ourselves. Or we get ourselves a nerd to work with. And by nerd, we're not talking about comic-loving gamers, but about people who know their stuff in IT. Shouldn't be a problem. In fact, it is. Startups have three main problems to find themselves nerds. If they have no or little IT knowledge, they often don't even know what to look for, what makes finding the right nerds increasingly difficult. Second, everybody is looking for nerds. Big companies compared to startups, considering their job offers, many people would rather choose the big company to work for. And related to that, some nerds, or most nerds, don't even know about the newest startups. This is where Nerd Factory joins the game. We have implemented a portal for nerds to match with startups. If startups really don't have any IT knowledge, we offer them an initial consultation by our in-house nerds. They're looking at their product, stating how they would realize it, and then making the nerd vacancy together with them. On the other side, we're recruiting nerds and getting them to upload their skill profiles by telling them or giving them an insight of what chances it has to work for a nice startup company. We're testing their skills via a short assessment we're currently automating. Our mission is to find the perfect match between nerds and startups. Doing our researches, we have found a lot of surveys stating, or underlining directly the problem of most startups which have difficulties finding a nerd, and for nerds having difficulties to find a job. Let's take a short look at our competitions. There's like LinkedIn, Xing, we all know there are quite a few headhunters, and there are some companies which are pretty close or similar to us, but not the same. Let me show you why. Focusing on startups gives us the opportunity to grow together with them. We're growing with them and keeping them as a client. And the even bigger part is we help them grow by giving them our consultation and continuous exchange. Plus, it's very fast and easy to achieve our services. And it's free for nerds and very affordable for startups.
Thanks. So how do you guarantee the companies that the intellectual property doesn't get out of the company? So do the programmers have to sign a contract, an NDA or something like that? Because I can imagine that the data they're dealing with can be quite sensible.
I'm not really getting what you mean. You mean why we didn't? No, could you?
You're giving assignments to the nerds, right?
No, we're testing their skills. They can upload their skill profile on our portal, and our nerds will verify these skills with a short assessment, so the startups really get what they are searching for.
Okay, then I misunderstood one thing, but I got it now. Thank you.
So where are you in the development of your business? Are you doing turnovers already, or?
Yeah, we started just doing our first matches and our first consultations. We're only in the business for a couple of months, so it's just the starting phase, but we already started doing it.
So I fully buy that startups and also corporates need nerds, so developers. So everybody asked me, do you know some of the developers? So that's pretty convincing. But what's basically the nerdy approach of Nerd Factory to be an attractive partner for the nerds? So what makes it specifically nerdy? So how do you attract the nerds to come to your platform?
Yeah, we're attracting nerds. One point is directly at universities, cooperating with universities and accelerators, doing events like hackathons, direct and one-on-one marketing at universities in front of the courses. Then we're naturally doing online and social media marketing, and we're implementing a gamification in our portal to make it more attractive.
So after the Nerd Factory, we have a totally different subject. It's the company Envuco, and they want to be the first green solution for smarter and more efficient buildings. Come on stage, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ali Mogadam from Envuco, and we have the world's first green solution for smarter and more efficient buildings. So our issue are the record-breaking CO2 emissions. Everybody knows that the CO2 emissions has risen up to 35 trillion tons in the last 60 years. And one consequence is that Europe's biggest glacier will vanish by the end of the next century. So our solution, we want to save resources. Here on this picture, we can see on the left side a building without building automation with high energy costs. And if you use our solution, you have low energy costs and you can save up to 60% energy per year. So we don't use any batteries. We use sustainable materials. We have a free model and a very cheap model, and we don't need any maintenance. So here on this picture, you can see our main device, which is called SAM. With this device, you can control intelligent heating, lights, switches, and 21 other additional devices. So our clear competitive advantage, everybody knows competitors like Siemens and Bosch. Our huge difference is that we don't use any wires, so we are wireless. We don't use batteries. We use sustainable materials, and we have an attractive price. So we have more than 60 partners. We have already managed to sign 15 LOEs. And we have already won the Climate Kick. We are on the stage 1 at Climate Kick. We already won the Power to Idea Accelerator. And, well, thank you.
Is that about right? 60 million gross profit fixed, signed.
Well, gross profit, we have already contracts, which we will work on that in the next 3 months for those, because we use energy contracting. That's why we give our products for free, and then we can participate on the savings up for 50% for 4 to 5 years, for up to 5 years.
Okay, so if you achieve these savings, that would equal these 60 millions?
Yes.
Do you use an ocean technology then, or?
An ocean technology, yes. We use an ocean telegrams in our products, and those are...
What makes your USP then?
Our USP is because we use sustainable materials first. We are completely wireless, and our products are all energy self-sufficient.
Hardware is a bitch, you know. So how do you deal with this issue? You know, you have this device. If I got it right, how do you make it? How do you maintain it and everything?
Well, the thing is, for example, the radiator valve. If we install this valve, we don't need any maintenance for the next 20 years because it's completely energy sufficient, and that's the reason. And we want to give a very good service for our.
And where is this device being designed and manufactured? Do you do the design in your team?
Yes, our founder and Micropelt. They designed it together.
Manufactured in Germany or in China?
Yeah, in Germany.
Okay,
near Südbaden, Freiburg.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the last company on stage is Cogni, and I think they will tell us a little bit about artificial intelligence. So the stage is yours.
I'm on? Oh, now I am. Thanks for having me here. Actually, it's Cognigy, cognitive technology. So yeah, let's talk about it. So what are we aiming for? We are talking about conversational AI. So we want to enable all devices and applications to intelligently communicate with their users via naturally spoken dialogue. And we are talking about back and forth conversations, you know. So let's have a look where you can have such conversations. You all know about these chatbot technologies and things like that. We've heard about Alexa. And even on web and mobile, we see conversational interfaces popping up all over the place. Now, what you can do is you could build one chatbot that is solely dedicated to Facebook, for example, that serves your users there. Or you could go ahead and do something with Siri or something. So, but we are aiming for a platform that can connect to any of those and provide these dialogues across these channels, so that you can even take one conversation from one channel, context-aware, to another channel. And that might even work with Pepper. When you shake his hand, he will remember, or he will find that out, and you get a response, a spoken response from this Pepper device. So what are the main challenges in this sector where everybody has heard about chatbots before? You know, so the next slide is going up. Users are personifying bots. So we are experts in cuss words now. I can tell you guys, people are shouting at it and doing things with it. You won't expect that. So you have to take that user and bring him back to the conversation. It is not easy to take or to build meaningful conversations and integrate with the backend systems, with the databases, product databases, and things like that. So we have created a platform that will easily allow that to do that. Solutions are either shallow, so you can do some basic chatbot builders where user says A, the bot says B, or something like that, or you need to go into programming. Those are the bot frameworks, but there is nothing in between. You got to be aware that most of these implementations done by agencies, for example, right now, are becoming digital silos. And digital silos is something we don't want to have. We want to have an integrated strategy where chat solutions and voice solutions become an essential part of your digital marketing strategy. And that requires really interactions across these channels. So what we have built is a graphical conversation editor, a backend system that allows you to create non-trivial and complex conversations for multi-turn conversations. So really you can have a dialogue with the system, and it will remember that, and it connects to these backend systems in order to get going a really nice conversation here. And this is what we have created throughout the last year. So we are a group of 10 people right now, cash positive, have active customers, are creating value there, and thanks a lot for having me tonight.
Who's your customer?
Well, customers are like, for example, I can talk about Henkel, for example, to build a conversational interface where you could select some products, and you can converse about the product. So what is its temperature range? How is its elasticity? And things like that. So big corporations. We are an enterprise software company. So we provide our technology as an enterprise software solution. And you can find a variety of different use cases, from makeup chatbots, the banking industry that looks at this, because they want to do one thing. I can tell you, convert from Facebook, for example, for basic conversations to, for example, placing an order on their website, because on a secured channel, for example. So those are among our customers.
You mentioned that you're doing cross-channel conversations. Can you talk about it technically, how you facilitate that process?
Well, for each user, for example, we identify, for example, by Facebook ID, we create what we call a brain. And with that brain, it's inside our software though, but it has a context. And that context now allows us to create meaningful conversations, and we can even extract that from a database, enrich that context, and then have a conversation with that. And now when we take that over to a next channel, we just replay that context, and here we go. We can continue that conversation on a different channel.
So how much revenue did you generate last year, and how much revenue are you going to generate next year?
Well, there's definitely under, let's say, $500,000 this year. But next year, let's see. We just hired my co-founder.
What does your plan say? So what do you do next year?
1.5.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Now it's time for the jury to decide. So can we please all move you to the box down there so you can get the winner? And I think it will be very difficult. We had so difficult or different startups. And I want to give you a little bit feedback from my experience. You saw how different they were, but most of them they were very personal. But still, I don't know why most people still love their product. And you know, some people were so much in love with their product they really forgot who is the customer. Because the only reason why businesses exist is not because you have a fantastic product, is because you like or solve the problem of a customer. So I liked the Nerd Factory because it was so clear, their presentation. What's the problem out there? And they had a great presentation and a solution for it. Then, once you have identified the problem, you have to describe a little bit more in detail how you solve it. Because why should I trust you? I mean, imagine this guy from, I like really the idea to have sustainable building technologies, because I'm working in the digital building field for a long time, and I know some of the companies down there. Why can you beat Bosch? I mean, he put him on the side and said like, oh yeah, you know, we beat Bosch. And it would be lovely in the presentation to give us some idea why you are so great to believe that you can beat Bosch. Give us a reason why we should believe in you. So first is always, what's the customer problem? And personally, I don't like presentations where we talk about market sizes. Because markets are always huge, billions of dollars. But the first and the biggest problem of all startups is not how big the market is. To get your first paying customer is the most important part. When is your break even to get in the market, get some traction? So I don't want to, personally, I don't want to see any presentation of market sizes, because we can dream up any market if we want to. I want to know why you get your first customer. So I want to understand from a customer perspective why you're a great company. And remember Guy Kawasaki, who's now with Google? He gave very clear rules how a good pitch is working. And that's pretty much like the Nerd Factory is doing. The first sentence should always be who you are. So we are a hardware manufacturer who solves the problem of all the different devices in buildings. Therefore, people save money. So you can really train this. So first, because for an investor, it's extremely important to understand what are you really doing. Because for example, I'm a very boring investor. I love boring businesses who are really relevant. So if somebody says, we are in the B2C business like, as mentioned before, HelloFresh, I don't even listen to that project anymore. Not because it's a bad idea, but I'm the wrong person to ask. So the first sentence you say is all about, do you keep the attention of the person? Then you should identify what's the value proposition, why your customer should be excited. And there you should identify clearly not the market, but who is your customer and why they should be excited. And the reason is very simple, because you solve them a problem. So I liked the two presentations with a problem, where they started with the problem, the cash or the nerd business. Then, of course, the second question is always how we do it. And we have seen a lot of presentations here with a lot of details. And quite often, I would like to have seen a little bit of prototype or something so I can grab what is really the business or the product. Remember this idea of the virtual squash? I still don't understand what they're really doing. So it could have been like a 30 seconds video to show what they're really doing. And the same with the Nerd Factory. You remember the question? So, yeah, how you solve it. And the question you got, you didn't even understand, because he understood a totally different business model out of it, or business structure. And that's very understandable, because you didn't present it too well. Your problem definition, your customer segments were well defined, but what you do was pretty difficult in the end. I know 3 minutes, it's difficult. And you should say something about the revenue model. It doesn't have to be important exactly how you earn money today, but at least there should be an idea, what do you want to charge for? And a lot of people always think the business model is the revenue model. No, the revenue model is just one of the 4 elements of a business. And if you don't have a good value proposition, we don't have to talk about the revenue model. So good investors don't talk about the finances too early. They want to understand, is there really a fantastic value proposition with which they can make money? So that's extremely important. And some teams did it pretty well because, I mean, they have nothing, most of them. They have prototypes. So it's extremely important. Why should I believe them? So the team is in the beginning the most important part. Because why should I believe these guys in sustainable business technologies that they are the ones who can beat all the biggies? So it's a very personal presentation. And some did it extremely well. They stood there and said, I'm that one, I studied da-da-da. I'm the master of, and the idea, dul-dul. So a good business model is always 4 elements, and you can present that. Not all details. First is value proposition. Who is your customer? What job do you solve for the customer? And what's the benefit? Have it. That's always the start. Then how you solve it. What's the product? What's the specialty? Show prototypes if you have them. Bring them with you. Then somewhere the revenue model. And then show the team what makes you so special. And then, of course, what makes you unique? Because the presentation of conversational chatbots could have been done by others. I've just went to Heidelberg, and we had a very similar presentation. What makes you unique? What's the magic behind your business model? So what makes you unique? Because it's just another robot or chatbot. And that was interesting because then he came up with the points to show where he is different. You know, the complex frameworks versus the very simple ones. And that triggered some question for me, is like how you do it. And a good presentation is not where you give all information away to the people. What is a good date? When you date somebody. Is the best date where you just talk the whole time, how great you are, how big your car is? Or is it about creating curiosity from the other side to know more? And it was interesting when you saw the judges, that certain ideas, they were like, no questions. Others, oh, we want to know more. And a good pitch is not answering questions. A good pitch is inspiring that people ask you questions. And then you should be prepared for it. So sometimes less is more. That's extremely important also about slides. I mean, I'm getting a little bit older, and I like to read text, but I don't like to read text on slides on screens. I mean, certain presentations were printouts slides. Really think about what is the area you take a look at. What's the distance you take a look at? And this was a horrible setup, actually, for the startups, because they were standing here, and they had to look at the back. I mean, it's our mistake that we did the stage like this, because they should have been here, so they could have addressed you or the jury. It's a very bad setup. But you have to be aware that it's never perfect, and you have to be accepting what is going on or understand how the stage is working to really get your message across. That's extremely important. And also, if there's a ging gong, don't excuse yourself. Just finish the sentence, because sometimes they don't even know what you haven't told. And just behave like as if this is a normal thing. And sometimes really train your speech, because some were extremely nervous, which I understand because the stage is huge. Are you done already, the jury? Oh, wonderful, come up here. I'm just talking as long as because they said they need time, so you have the prize. Welcome back. Who will announce the jury?
Thank you. So yeah, thank you again for having us. We just deliberated intensively, and there were actually 3 companies that we all really liked. And interestingly enough, all the 5 of us, in the end, we decided to go with the winner, and the winner for us is Cognigy. So congratulations.
Die Dame. As we're always saying, one last thing. Because I have a special prize for one team, not because I like it the most, but I think that they have a very, very important social issue to solve. This is how we connect or how we live with the aging society. So I would like to get the team up from the aging society. Yeah. Because, I mean, you have a challenge you want to solve. Yeah. Congratulations. I think you have still a lot of work to do because just having a platform is not a solution yet. But I think we should say this is the most important thing to solve is bringing the people together. So I will want to give you one thing. And this is how you can develop from customer insights a business model which hopefully works, because there's still a long way, but I think I like the team, I like what you do. So congratulations, and hopefully it can work better, because you definitely have to, or you have a customer problem we need to solve as a society. Thank you very much.